So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of ZGN Talks, and today we will be talking about why you should be focusing on only e-commerce in 2020.
So coming from Mitch and I's personal experience, we've actually sold on Shopify, eBay, and Amazon. And the reason we kept shifting platforms and the reason we kept changing platforms is because, Shopify was a really nice platform. At the end of the day, you had to spend money on ads before you even made your first sale. So this would result in you have to spend maybe, let's say, $10, $50, most of the time even over $100 to find out if a product is a winner or not. And then a lot of the times what would end up happening is, that product wouldn't be a winner. You just spent all that money on advertising and you didn't get anything out of it. So we went from Shopify to eBay because we basically figured, hey, why drive the traffic to your website where you can just put up product and listing up on a website and then just get traffic and sales naturally. So after Shopify, we began selling on eBay for a pretty substantial period of time. And then after eBay, we actually said, hey, you know what if we sold on, the biggest platform that there is out there, we can just list a product and it sells. Let's sell on Amazon. And the reason we decided to sell on Amazon is because Amazon, in comparison to eBay and Shopify, is actually a much bigger marketplace, has a much bigger, UI interface for product research. And, at the end of the day, it just results in us getting more sales.
Now let's go ahead and dive deeper into the business model that we actually use within the Amazon marketplace. And this business model you probably heard of is dropshipping. So pretty much how it works is we go on Amazon and we have various ways of conducting product research. Now, throughout product research, we find multiple products that are proven to sell well, and there are many various ways of finding these sorts of products. Now, when we find a product that sells well, we go ahead on Google and we find a supplier that has this product and sells it for cheaper. After that, we go ahead and list the product, and assuming that we're able to list this product, because Amazon, they don't just allow anyone to start listing products, and there are various reasons behind that, such as you being a completely new seller on the market. And if you're a completely new seller on the market, well, then there are going to be many more barriers to entries for you because, again, you haven't built up your trust with not only the Amazon marketplace, but their customers as well. So we'll go ahead and list the product, and once someone goes to our storefront on Amazon and buys that product, we will go ahead to the supplier and send that product out to the customer. So in reality, this is a sell high, buy low business model. So we're not buying any inventory up front, and we're only buying inventory when someone buys that inventory from our store first.
And a lot of you may be wondering, well, how do you know to get into Amazon versus eBay or Shopify? How do you know to make those transitions to different platforms? Well, the reason we knew this is because we end up talking to different business owners, whether they be selling on Shopify, eBay, Amazon. So what we're doing, we were starting to get into e-commerce and business. We would actually schedule calls, obviously, usually for a price, just a 1-hour consulting call with various people we considered successful in, different e-commerce space or different business spaces. And what we do during the hour call is we would pick those people's brains, and then, we would ultimately write down a list of pros, cons of a business model and, how easy we would think it would be to pull off their current skill set. And, what that ultimately led to is us making a very informed decision. And, I very well think that we avoided a couple very major mistakes that we could have made had we not scheduled calls like that. So one key thing we learned through doing all the different consulting with all the different business owners, and for the average business, it does take a lot of time to get off the ground. But at the end of the day, that's just part of doing business. And, on Amazon, particularly the nice sweet spot for when your store actually begins to grow and see a lot of explosive growth is around the 6 to 12 mark range. Now, in the first 3 months on Amazon, for those guys that don't know, it's just a period of where you're trying to build up your feedback and gain trust with Amazon. Obviously, you come on the Amazon platform and you start trying to ship and, put up a lot of products for sale. They're probably going to ban you because if you're Amazon and someone comes on your platform and the first day list, let's just say 200 products, you're also going to be slightly suspicious of what this person's doing. But, overall on Amazon, between the 6 to 12 mark range is, that part where Amazon says, okay, this person, if you have good feedback, is a very trusted seller. We can trust them now to start giving them more buy box, start giving them more sales. That's where we really start to see really explosive growth. Selling on Amazon is extremely versatile in comparison to other business models. You have to do product research. You have to find different product categories. It's constantly just, how can I expand? How can I get more analytical with my, methodology and how I get products on my store? And, it's really different from other business models. For instance, if you're part of a clothing brand, it's constantly just, okay, how can I make cool clothes? How can I market it? Well, on Amazon, there's a lot of different layers and a lot of different, skills you need to master in order to really adequately sell on the Amazon platform. And then at the end of the day, Well, Mitch and I spoke to a lot of different people. We had a lot of different consulting calls, a lot of people that were in Amazon, eBay, Shopify, along with a lot of traditional businesses. And, the first year business is also usually plagued by a lot of different instances where you lose a lot of money. But at the end of the day, that first year of business is a learning opportunity. During our first mainly 6 months of business, we made a lot of mistakes, as anybody would going into business. But, when you're really just starting to get into business and e-commerce in particular, you really need to get that first year out of the way. You need to make those mistakes early. Because the last thing you're trying to do is, not learn something your first year in business, and later down the line when you have a lot more capital, you invest and lose a lot more capital than you would have otherwise lost if you learned it the first year. And lastly, we may be able to prepare yourself for your first year in business through consulting calls or just through talking to business owners that you know of in the space. During our first 6 months selling Amazon, personally, our first 1 to 2 years in business, basically I made a lot of mistakes. And, we lost a lot of money the first couple months selling Amazon. And, the real important thing to remember is during that first year in business, you're not supposed to be great at making money. It's just part of how it goes. It's like a learning curve. The first year, you're not supposed to do too hot, and the years after, you're supposed to slowly scale up. At the end of the day, you should really look at losing money in the first year of business as, hey, I'd rather make these mistakes when I have, let's say, $5,000, $10,000 than when I have $500,000. So what you really want to do is get all those really crucial and really important mistakes out of the way your first year in business. So you're making those mistakes, you have a very little amount of capital compared to later when, you're going to end up having a lot of capital at risk.
And to wrap this video off, you want to use e-commerce as a vehicle that takes you places. So what do I mean by that? You want to be able to master cash flow. You want cash flow coming in every single day that funds different parts of your life. And on top of that, once you have consistent cash flow coming in every single day, you're able to then diversify and put it into many different places. Because the reason why a lot of people end up failing at business at first is they're not able to master cash flow. And if you're never able to have consistent cash flow coming in, well, you'll never have a good relationship with money itself. Aside from being able to bring you in consistent cash flow, e-commerce has many other benefits as well, such as allowing you to network much more efficiently. So what may I mean by this? Say, for example, you're at a networking event or you're at some sort of business meeting. Well, people are much more likely to want to speak to you, communicate with you, network with you because they know what you're doing in the business world. They know you get results and they know that they have some sort of value to gain out of you. And at the end of the day, in this world, no one really cares about you unless you have some sort of value to add to them. And that's just how it works. It's a tough life. But at the end of the day, if you are proven in a certain field and you have value to add to certain people, well, then they're much more likely to network with you. Not only will networking like this allow you to meet many more people, but it will also open up the door for many more opportunities in your life. And once you got cash flow down, once you got the networking down, and those two parts of your personal and business life are fully intact, then you can go ahead and start diversifying your income into other more innovative ventures. For example, with Emiliano and I, we're currently working on our tech startup around one of our main e-commerce services, which is Amazon automation. And pretty much just a quick rundown of it, we have a whole team overseas that manages Amazon stores for people, because when it comes to managing an Amazon store yourself, you could only get so far because, say, for example, you're pushing 100 plus orders every single day. How would you be able to manage that on your own? So we're currently in the process of building out a whole team overseas that fully manages stores for people here in the US. So that's pretty much what we're currently venturing out into. And after that, who knows where we'll be. We plan to travel a lot, meet new people through there. And again, we're really focused on continuing to expand our network. We'll be also launching a podcast soon, but with this whole economic impact going on, it's not as safe to do so just yet. But yeah, aside from that, stay tuned for what's to come. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below of what you thought about this video. And again, our Instagrams are down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and want to network with us or communicate, go ahead and shoot us DM. And yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios.